Hound Dogs. I'm David Hankins.
I'm Paul Hankins.
And welcome to another edition of On the Air with Power Squared, a behind-the-scenes look at what we hope will be everyone's favorite comic book, Power Squared. Today we're going to be talking about planning ahead for content, right?
Yes.
And the importance of that. We have been trying, and I say I want to give you credit for sort of spearheading, trying to vary the content, especially what we put up on YouTube. We used to do just sort of a sitting and looking at the camera and hey, what happened this week? And we've been trying to get a little more sophisticated, and you've done some, I guess I'll say pioneering work in doing profiles of characters.
Yes.
And we've put up 4 of those so far.
Yes.
Or actually 5 of those so far. And then we have 2 more in the works that I'm pretty excited about. And can't really talk too much about who's going to be doing them, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll find out when they come up. Trust us. And then we've also wanted to involve our creative team more. And we did a couple of Google Hangouts today that'll be up on YouTube later. One with our artist, Rachel Wells, and one with our colorist, Julia Canon.
That's right.
And we used to do those fairly regularly 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And we stopped and started doing a week in Power Squared. Because I think it was just sort of timing.
Yeah.
Because we were trying not to be too late on a Friday and all that kind of stuff. Because Rachel's 3 hours ahead of us.
Yeah.
So, she may not be wanting to talk to us on Friday night. So it just sort of ended up. But we were able to pull that off today, and then we did a couple of unboxing videos.
Yes.
One of which including 2 things that came to us this week from Artist Merrick. I can just almost say that. One of them which is these T-shirts that we're wearing that you can also purchase if you really want to support the podcast. They're available on Artist Merrick, and you can get to that through powersquaredcomicbook.com/shop and click on the artistmerrick.com icon.
Yeah.
Which will take you right there. And you can buy them under $20.
Yes.
So it's pretty good. So I've been blathering. Anything you want to say?
Well, I guess it's kind of reiterating a little bit. We figured we needed to really plan our content better, because otherwise we were just coming up with ideas for videos and our podcast at the last second,
Right.
And some of them felt kind of awkward, or we're kind of spinning our wheels, I guess.
Yeah, because some weeks nothing happens.
Yeah. So actually planning the kind of things that we want to make then helps us have a more consistent output of stuff that we care about.
Right. Yeah, and we varied it already to a certain. We did a whole thing about Superman cartoons.
Yeah.
The early theatrical shorts.
Yeah.
And we've talked about movies and. Yeah.
We went through a Toonami bracket.
Yeah. Yeah. So we've tried to vary the content, so it's not totally about us, but it is. I like the idea of varying what we do.
Yeah.
And hopefully, you, the listener and viewer, will also enjoy.
Yeah. I also got the idea from I watch a lot of YouTube, and they would occasionally some of the content creators I follow would occasionally talk about the importance of you have to adapt your content in order to stay relevant, because a couple of them, PewDiePie and Pyrocynical, talked about how if they just stuck with the stuff they originally made, like PewDiePie with horror games or / Call of Duty, or Pyrocynical with MLG montage parodies, then they would still have very few subscribers, and they wouldn't have the much larger active bases they have today.
Right. So it's important to, and we would love to hear from you, the listener and viewer, if there's something you'd be interested in for us to cover.
Yeah.
as it mostly relates to Power Squared.
Yeah.
We don't want to get off into tell me who to vote for, and that kind of stuff. That's not our area. But anyway, I think it's I like the idea that we have stuff, and it's also if we plan stuff out, it's a little less of a having to crash through it on Sunday.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes that day a little more enjoyable.
Yes.
All right. Anything else?
I guess one other thing is we've been trying to make more content ahead of time.
Right.
Because then, as we were saying, we get it out of the way, and then we have more of the Sunday to ourselves.
Right. And then that gives us, the only thing we have to do on Sunday is put out the newsletter.
Yeah.
Which you can subscribe to by joining the conversation at powersquaredcomicbook.com/join.
That's right.
And if you do join, you get not only the newsletter, which is the Hound Dogs Howl and the Bark.
You also get the first issue for free, so you can start your journey of Power Squared right away.
Right. So hope you'll follow along and join.
Yes.
All right. So until next week, I'm David Hankins.
And I'm Paul Hankins.
And you've been on the air with Power Squared.